Hello, welcome. I'm going to be doing a general tarot reading. With that being said, this is for entertainment purposes only. Anybody's welcomed, everybody's welcomed. And hopefully there will be some messages for you. With it being a general tarot reading, not everything will resonate, but hopefully there will be some messages for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay. Oh, so the Eight of Cups. So I definitely feel like maybe you're leaving something that you've put a lot of energy into. I feel like, hmm, I definitely feel like maybe it just hasn't worked out, or maybe you're in the process of leaving this situation. Um, uh, I feel like maybe you felt like there was a lot of potential in this, but it wasn't giving. You felt like you're putting a lot of work that I feel like you're sorry, my camera's acting a little weird, but I feel like you are putting a lot of work into this. Maybe the other person in the situation wasn't putting in the work that you were expecting, that you were looking for. So I think that maybe you're looking for that potential. Um, I feel like you're definitely feel like you're looking for something more, and maybe that's what you have. Or maybe you're trying to figure out what is next for me? What do I need to do? And what do I have? And that sort of thing. Being grateful for what you have is important. I feel like, and where you go from there, that achievement, those achievements that you've made, all that hard work, that what you've earned. Um, okay. So this is your conscience. I feel like you're really working you've been trying to work for into something, with the Three of Pentacles. Um, that is a card associated with like um, working to something, building on something, crafting something, communication. Um, that's important. Maybe that's what was lacking, the communication in this. That maybe you were doing all the work. You were doing all the work, and you weren't really getting anything out of it. The other person was achieving. Ah, so this is the past. So this is the the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles has to do with like you're putting in the effort. You put a lot of effort into this. I feel like, and you're waiting. You're tending to it. I feel like maybe the situation you're leaving is definitely you put so much energy into this. Is what I feel like. You put so much energy into this. This could be a friendship. This could be a relationship. Um, this could it could be a work related thing, between like a few different people and yourself. But you definitely there's a lot of stress. I definitely feel like maybe you felt like you weren't being heard, and that sort of thing. Like your opinion didn't matter. It was only what you did that mattered. This is a potential future. There's a new beginning, so don't let this spook you. So the tower represents a lot more than what it looks. Um, there is a new beginning. I feel like maybe you're gonna learn to adjust your crown, understand where you're at, and rebuild. And that could be with yourself. That could be with, I guess I'm trying to say is, I feel like within this, that's what you're aiming for. You're aiming for this new beginning, this new start, this fresh start, um, where where you're people aren't going to be profiting off of what you do. you know there needs to be a collective. I definitely think that's what you're doing. You're going to be kicking out people that are not actually fueling your achievement. I guess what I'm trying to say is I feel like a lot of people were using you. I definitely feel like that there was a lot of people that were using you, but they weren't actually hearing you out. They didn't understand what you needed from them because they didn't want to listen to what you needed from them. They didn't want to listen to this, but they expected you to do what they expected you to take the heavy load, This is your subconscious. So this is what is in the back of your head. I feel like this is what you need to look at again. So I definitely think that you need to let go of a lot of worrying, and you need to find something that fuels you. You see the two cups here. The cups are fueling each other. You know, you're not. I think that's something that you need. You need a balance. You need to find that balance. You're trying to find that balance. Don't make big decisions in this. Think about every step that you do. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Think about, hopefully that you understand what I'm trying to say with that. I think that you need to look at that. Having strategy is important, and being very clear about what you need is important. But understand where you're at. I'm gonna move these over so I can get the other things in the camera. So this is your attitude. So this is like this is your attitude. So that your attitude, like, that has to do with like your mindset on the situation, how you're really thinking on it. You're definitely separating yourself from it. I definitely feel like this, maybe they're trying to win you over, but it's not working. It's not doing, because you understand what they're doing. You know what they're doing. But you're trying to separate yourself from the situation in a way, but this person's or this situation is still coming back to you. And I think that they're trying to. They want you to finish what you started, but you're not making any profit on it. You're not doing that shit for them anymore. Excuse my French. So I think that you're looking at this in the sense of this situation. I feel like it's like, what do I do? What do I do? How do I go from here? What growth have I achieved? I feel like I'm spewing gibberish. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I feel like your attitude on this situation is, you know what you need to do, but you're also kind of like lost because you don't want to leave necessarily. You don't want to leave necessarily, but you don't want this to start all over again and be like a cycle. That's what a lot of things I feel like are. It's just the same thing over and over. There's no change. Maybe they're giving you a sign that they're actually going to do something, but then you're also in your mind, you're thinking that they're not really, they're just trying, it's just for show, It's an illusion. So this is your environment. There's a lot of conflict. I definitely feel like within this, there is like, I feel like that maybe they're trying to say that, they actually did something, when you know clear as day that they didn't do nothing. Or they did the bare minimum. And so there is that conflict of like, I did this, and I did this. But it's like, that's the bare minimum. You know what I mean? Not everything should be asked. You shouldn't have to ask for the bare minimum. You know? So this is your hopes. And this is your fears. So your hopes with the chariot. The chariot that has to do with moving forward with balance. A lot of balance here. I feel like you're really trying to find that stability within yourself that you have, but you kind of like lost because of the situation, because of maybe this person or this group or whatever. I feel like this is a lover or this is a partner, a relationship thing. So I feel like you're hoping to move forward. You're hoping to have this balance that also shows in this that you need to look at again. But I definitely feel like your hope is that you're going to be able to move forward. It's going to be easy. It's going to be smooth, and it's going to be upward away from that. But with this, I think the Wheel of Fortune is that maybe you're also kind of afraid that, well, if I leave, if I make this decision too quick, or if I take my time, that, you know, it's not going to work out for me like I think it will, you know, because things always change and I think nothing is ever set in stone. So what might look really good might actually be really bad, but what might also look really bad might actually be really good. I think that it's going to take time. It's definitely going to take time. It's going to have to put a lot of effort. But I think that if you have been putting a lot of effort in this, you've been doing a lot of good work, okay? But if you put all that energy back into yourself, that everything will be panning out, you know, to how, because you're not going to be dealing with all this low level shit, you know? I think that's important to keep in mind. Oh, this is the outcome. You're definitely going to be getting back into your groove, but also, you know, be careful, you know, understanding that you're still healing. Small steps. That's really important to understand. Hopefully, this reading um, kind of resonated. Um, I'm also gonna do like a yes and no kind of like thing with the cards. So if you have a yes or no question, I'm gonna pull a card that is going to answer that. So Pentacles and Wands are yes, and Cups and Swords are no. Okay. So I definitely think this is a no. But with this being said, too, within this card, within the the um, the Six of Cups, I definitely think whoever this is, they're going back to something from their past. Maybe this is a good thing, maybe this is a bad thing. If you want, you can comment anything down below. Give me positive feedback if any of this resonated. Hopefully it did. This is my first video, so I'm kind of scared, but I'm still kind of learning. Not tarot, but learning to like read for people like in this kind of way on video and camera. So I'm a little nervous in my own, but give me positive feedback if any of it resonated. And hit the subscribe and like button. Hopefully there will be more videos like this ahead. And hopefully they will be better. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.